Let me get your thoughts, Honorable Odanga, on the students' strike, or the hunger strike by students from public universities that is set to start later this morning. And they complain that they've only been in class for about 2 months this entire year because there's been 3 lecturers' strike. You've got a bit of background in matters education. What are your thoughts on the current situation?
Thank you so much. First of all, having watched the requiem mass for the late Bishop Cornelius Korir of the Catholic Diocese of Eldoret, let me take this opportunity to convey my condolences and those of the people of Matayos constituency and the parishes within my constituency following the demise of this very good bishop who always stood for, championed and articulated matters of peace and social justice. And it's unfortunate that he has passed on at such a time when we really need these matters to be addressed to bring this country back together. May his soul rest in peace. And also I convey similar messages following the deaths of the former Cabinet Secretary Kabere Mtombijiwe, who served this country very diligently. And you remember, if we had cabinet secretaries today working like those cabinet secretaries like Kabere Mtombijiwe and Jackson Angaine, you can remember that Jackson Angaine served for very long as a minister for land, and we have land in Kenya. If he was behaving like some of the leaders we have today, do you think we would have even an inch of land remaining? May his soul rest in peace. And also, I want to pray for their families, and also a message of condolences to the late Governor Fonyeri, Mheshimiwa Wahome Gakuru. Now, coming back to the lecturer strike and the students, it's unfortunate that this country has not taken matters education seriously to date. If in a whole year, the students have been in school for only 2 months or so, it should be disturbing everybody, and should be disturbing the minister in charge of education and the government at large, because our students pay huge fees to be in school. Some of them stay and pay for hostels and accommodation, which the landlords continue charging them. They have also delayed in their programs. We need to take matters education very seriously. If we want the country to achieve Vision 2030, we must address the issues of teachers and lecturers very, very seriously. And this is a matter that was discussed in March, and CBA was agreed, and the payment was to be done by the end of the 2013-2017 cycle, by the end of June. The government did not, and the universities or employers did not go ahead to implement it in full until lecturers went on strike, paralyzing universities for over 2 weeks. Students remained at home. The semesters were carried forward. Students who would have graduated even by November and December cannot graduate. They are going to stay in the universities as if they have not paid for the education. If the CBA was agreed and was honored, it should be important that also the increases in the salaries and allowances that were agreed or negotiated during the March CBA agreement should have been paid immediately, so that the lecturers would stay in school. As at now, they are supposed to be even negotiating the CBA for 2017, for the other 4 years. And again, I want to state here categorically that the practice of having the CBAs for 4 years is a unilateral decision made by the CRC. The standard, the international standard all over the world set by ILO is that the CBAs are negotiated in a matter of 2 years and then they are implemented. Yeah, so I think it should be perturbing and disturbing that in a country like us, we are still dealing with strikes every other time, instead of having children in school, workers doing their duties satisfactorily. It should disturb everybody.
Honorable Maure.
Yeah, I think what is happening is, I am glad the way there's passion for the sharing of the cake. The boycotts are causing the economy quite a headache. We would like the teachers and anybody who has been having a collective bargaining agreement honored. But we all know the country's economy has been paralyzed for the rest of this year.
Right, but you cannot blame that on the boycott because the first two strikes were before the
I'm
boycott.
saying the issue is that when you're calling in the boycotts, you don't want these people to be paid. We want you to call off the boycotts, support the resurrection of the economy, support the prosperity of the country, and then we make sure the teachers, the nurses, all the people who are making these demands get paid and then get back to work. It is that work which will get all of us on our feet.
Right, but many questions are being raised with the intensity and the rate of industrial action that we're seeing in this country, all the way from last year, from the teachers' strike, the nurses' strike, the doctors' strike, now a lecturers' strike.
Don't be surprised many of them are stage managed to squeeze the government. You know, there is a problem when you see people in government and they see a different entity from yourself. The government is actually you and me. So when you have this kind of an attitude of them versus us, then it goes even to the workers. They say the lecturers, the nurses, the police, everybody. When you don't see the government as yourself, that's why you see the intensity. Everything has been happening between July, August, and September, just to coincide with elections. It's not a coincidence. It's part of this way of putting pressure on government. They don't say who is the government.
Right.
Yeah. We're just messing up our own country.
So the teachers' strike, for example, even as we wind up, was not during an electioneering period.
No. I'm saying if you see the pressure, for example, the nurses were on for almost 4 months. The lecturers have already begun. By the time they are beginning, I'm talking of the timing, they would have even started in January or December. I agree with the grievances, but the timing is not right.
I want to really state that is not true. Because if we had like the lecturers' CBA, which will run from 2013 to 2017, why will we not honor it and wait? The only time maybe the lecturers and other workers in this country find it prudent and find that their withholding or of the services can bring something is during that election time. Otherwise, it should be the duty of the employer and in particular the government to be honoring those CBAs even before the election time comes.
Who is government? Actually, everybody in government today is just in between this lacuna of between now and the next 2-3 weeks about the Supreme Court ruling about the inauguration of the president. Who is government? Who are they? Who is government now? Everybody is in disarray, including you. You are not in parliament today. You are not in parliament today for the next 3 weeks because of this paralysis.
We need to go out and we need to understand that really, as members of parliament, we are there for the just government of the people and for the welfare of the society.
All right, gentlemen, we'll have to stop this here. It is an interesting debate you're beginning. This is a completely different conversation on the lecturer strike. Thank you so much for joining us on News Center this morning. We've been speaking to Honorable Geoffrey Odanga, who is the Member of Parliament, Matayos constituency, as well as Honorable Maure Maoka, Member of Parliament, Ikembe North constituency. You're watching KTN News Center. I want to take a short commercial break, but let's leave you with the live pictures now from Eldoret, where the body of the late Eldoret Catholic Bishop Cornelius Korir is currently being taken into the church where the Requiem Mass will be held this morning.